Hello and welcome to ANU. I'm Jillian, a learning advisor with Academic Skills, and I'm going to be talking to you about how to put together an effective presentation. So what are the keys to an effective presentation? Well, we believe it all starts with a really clear key message. And after you've got that key message, you can put together a really logical structure that supports that key message, and then good visual aids that support that structure and key message as well. And of course, it's really up to that delivery. So you've got to think about your preparation techniques in order to have a stress-free and professional delivery. So it all starts with that key message, as I've said. So what is that going to be? You've got to look at your particular assignment perhaps and find out, what you want to argue perhaps. What is your thesis statement? What is your argument? Perhaps that's your key message. Perhaps it's your research question if you're giving a presentation about your proposal or some proposal of original research. It all depends on that assignment that you have, that genre that you're presenting on, as well as your audience and what they know and what they need to know. So what is the key takeaway? What do you want to convince them of? What do you want them to remember, most remember when they leave your presentation? That's going to be your key message. And then beyond that, you're going to structure it all around that key message. As you can see, that's bolded there in the introduction, where you would indicate that key message surrounding, before that, the context and the debate, and really grasping onto that key message right away in the introduction as the central focus point. And then after that, the body is all about supporting that key message. So what are those points you're going to present to fit around and logically support your key message? And then your conclusion will bring it all together and provide those implications. That's so what. So this may look familiar. It's what you would do in a lot of different written assessments as well. So it's a very similar sort of genre. You might also want to use our template here. It's quite simple, purposefully so. So this is going to help you if you decide to download this from our website. This is a good idea to fill out and think about before you go ahead and start designing your slides. You want to really be clear on that key purpose, your key message, and what your points are that are going to support it. And that's going to really help focus you. Just like you write an essay outline before your essays, you're going to try to write an outline of your presentation before you start designing to really help focus you and not, fall into the trap of having so many slides that are simply informative. This can help focus you on creating those points that support a key message. So when you go ahead and design, you're probably going to use PowerPoint, and you're going to try to have a key message, of course, for the entire presentation as well as for each slide. So what's that going to look like? And that clear message for each slide is going to give you confidence as you present. So you want to think about that mix of bullets as we see here, as well as small or large images, that mix of visual information. And so good slides do all of these things. They're well organized. They help focus the audience and you on what you want them to focus on and understand as it is revealed and as you discuss it. You want your slides to allow for eye contact, allow for that improvisation. So you don't want your bullets and your slides to have too much content and too much information. You don't want them to be too busy. You want them to be fairly simple so that the listener can really follow along quite easily and isn't distracted by all the things going on in the slide. Okay, so bullets are that roadmap for your audience. They're quite standard in PowerPoints, and there's a lot of good things about bullets. There are a lot of pros and cons. The pros being they are that standard. They do help guide the reader, the listener. They do help guide you and what you want to say. They can get too wordy, so that's something to be careful of. There can be too many, so you've got to keep it simple or simply create another slide rather than filling a slide up with lots of bullets. Also, small images create interest, create a bit of a metaphor, a connection. They're more appealing to look at than just a plain slide. So you want to think about adding those small images. It may be hard to find one that really fits with what you're saying, so that's potentially a con. It may be hard to find a good, crisp image. So you may have to hunt around a little bit for such a thing. Charts, graphs, and tables are also a great way to visually present data and information. So you would want to think about how you would add those, how you would create those, what you'd want the listener to focus on in the graph, how you can create it so that it's, really focusing on what you want the listener to get out of that chart, graph, or table. And then you can also have large images. That's when an image fills the entire screen. And so that can be very impactful and evocative, but you may not want to be evocative within your particular presentation. And it may be difficult to talk to that slide. You may feel like you want a bullet there to remind you of what you want to say. So it's a little bit risky potentially to have a large image, but let's look at one here that is quite powerful and impactful to see that if it did relate to what you wanted it to say. So providing that interest and emotion is an option that you have. Now, moving on to delivery. If you're confident in your message, you've prepared that well, and you've prepared your slides well around that key message, then you should be confident in your delivery. So you do want to have time to practice. You do want to practice in front of a mirror like this little kitty cat is doing. You do want to time yourself. You want to maybe set up your computer and go through your slides and talk and time it and go through it a number of times so that you know your to time, you know where maybe you potentially mess up a little bit so that you can fix that up before it's presentation day. So you don't want to avoid preparing for your presentation. You do want to just face it head on and prepare a lot so that you feel less anxious on the day. So just in summary, remember that clear message is what's going to give you confidence. You've got to practice quite a number of times to really begin to feel comfortable and to get that timing right. Remember, if you don't want to be there, your audience doesn't want to be there either. So help them to feel relaxed and comfortable by feeling relaxed and comfortable yourself through that practice. Okay, good luck with your presentations. We'd love to see you at Academic Skills. If you want to go over your slides or practice your presentation with us, we'd love to see you, and you can book in for an appointment with us. Okay, good luck with everything. See you soon. Bye.